Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here and we're live. It's a wee bit overdue, but hey, the water's out there. You can see the wee house we're sitting in. The waters out there have been choppy, and it's taken us a wee minute to reposition and kind of realign ourselves coming into the upcoming game weeks, as well as trying to reconfigure gallery strategies. What is the main things to watch out for? What are the main things to lean into? All that good stuff has been kind of emphasised and amplified, it feels like, over the last week or so. And we're here to do a little bit of members action. We're going to be doing, I've just tried to call it Sorare Strategy Deep Dive. It is the eve of Game Week 91. I'm not too sure we're actually going to be able to get a deadline one together for this because of time zones and whatnot. So I'm kind of open to where we go with this one. Thanks to everyone that is joining us. Fist bumps on arrival to you all. Good to see you all in the building, in the house with us tonight. And yeah, quite free reign, quite open to wherever we go with this one. We've got a bit of deadline action to, kind of in the offing, but also where we have information, we have notes, we have some things that we can be thinking about if we're doing any kind of market moves at the moment, bringing cards in, moving cards out, that sort of thing. But a lot of it still is TBC. But one of the main things that is not TBC is Sorare data. We're not going to have that going forward. So open to having some guinea pig kind of situations tonight as well, where we can test out doing all of this stuff without having Sorare data actually there to visually aid us, or actual, for me, getting my hands dirty on lineups and stuff like that, help us actually build them out. So open to kind of doing everything and anything tonight with the FC Barcelona 24-25 season ticket holders. And we're going to do when will we do this? Probably within the next couple of weeks or so. Certainly before August, we'll launch the 25-26 season ticket, and we'll confirm, I don't know, whatever the word is, what we're doing in the member section, because we've also got MFL content now kind of in the mixture, and Sorare content is kind of maybe morphed ever so slightly. So good opportunity for us tonight to kind of dip our toe in the water of, what can we do members wise in the current vision of Sorare. And if anyone from Sorare is watching this, or maybe we clip some bits up, we might even be able to kind of really hard road test this. What do we actually miss from Sorare data that we need to have back in our lives on Sorare.com itself, or the Sorare app. And it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it, guys. It's been a while. Fist bumps to you all, of course, and thanks to everyone for their support in the 24-25 season. We've had more members than ever, but I think, we've got Liam Peverley here, who's first in the chat today, and also recently picked up a season ticket, as well as Josh Tilley in the chat as well. And we've got nice little icons, so you can also see Mikey Bass in there, who has the unique Ivan Martin as his little icon there. Mikey's been one of the longest supporters of FC Barcelona, of course, but that card is the only unique that I ever won. And I was actually looking at it the other day. Because, I see Harry's picked up a unique. I see some other people were kind of flirting with, those different strategy points. And I thought, there is a point to having it, if you do mess with supers, because having the unique just means you're on old or last season's super rare in-season requirements, and without that unique you're on 4-1, which is going to slow you down if you're just looking to win cards like me. So I thought I'd go and have a wee look at it and see what was going on with it, and it is for sale, it is available, but where the guys put it, it's a wee bit rich for my blood, I can't lie, but I greatly miss this card. I was so happy to win this. I think this is one of the best unique designs, overall. The fact that it's 3D as well is amazing. No back of the card action like we've got on the newer ones, for example, but I really love that card in a lot of ways. And yeah, this is a little bit cooler. It'd be a nice to have thing, but the backing on the unique thing, that kind of, I don't know if you'd call it stained glass kind of vibe or whatever, but I love the background of it. It's the 3D cards, the first season of them, they're really good. I'm a big fan of the design, and we won this from Cap 240 with a team that had Brais Mendes and Yangel Herrera together in midfield. So I was tempted. I sent this guy a trade offer of I think it was just all the super rares that I won this year, which some of them were okay, but he rejected it. He wasn't interested. I was trying to do a wee trade for money at this guy for some reason, but yeah, he's also got Diego Lopez unique, which I was kind of wow, I wouldn't mind some of that. But yeah, he rejected, and he was not interested in any of my cards, is what he told me. And I like that innovation when it did come in. It's kind of forgotten about quite quickly, of course, but excluding Kyle and Laren, I think these are the super rares I won last year. So, and well, Mingueza, would add him into the equation to get someone like Martin back. I don't know. I like cards I've won. I'd rather actually keep them, but I just don't have many because I've not been trading in super rares. I just don't have many that are like that valuable I would trade against. And I say for the rares, like, I don't know, what the rares do I have available? I'm on a wee tangent just to let the door open, let you guys get in here and get comfy. Smash the like button, throw some questions and suggestions, chat points, anything you want to do into the live chat, and we'll run away with it. Liam, but was in the system I'm on, I can't highlight individual comments sadly, but Liam is the first one in the chat, and he wants some sort of gallery review, so we're definitely going to do that as like the first topic, but I'll find like other stuff in the chat and we'll pick up and run with that as well. But I've got a little list called available, and I recommend any of you guys out there do this as well. But it just means when you're going into maybe do a trade or something, you can just quickly get a list of the guys that are fodderable, you know, that are available to be punted. And I don't know, I just wonder if we gave this guy like a bit of kit here from this stuff, like some of the yeah, maybe just try some of this, see how it goes. Take off the Devlin maybe. I don't know what all that adds up to. Upcoming, yeah, that's fine. Upcoming, yeah, that's fine. Would he do that, I wonder? Probably not. Would I do that? I suppose I would. Is there many rewards here? No, there's not. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Let me see. So also we've got Liam, we've got Mikey Baston in the house, Johnny TH, Josh Tilley, of course, Torador, good to see you. Malba88 added into your name, love that. Thanks for the little nudge reminder. XD Rai, good to see you. Yo, Quinny, can I get a gallery review as well? Just want to know. Yeah, let's have a look at that as well. So I know your gallery is on the smaller side and quite. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with your gallery last season in terms of the cards you managed to win and stuff. But yeah, Mikey Baston, I was going for more of a kind of radio intro, you know, if we're leaving that screen on for a minute. Unique, the super rare. Yeah, that's probably the way to think of it now. You can get some really good uniques for cheap at the moment. Yeah, Kulusevski for 300. That's pretty tasty. And you know, I joked in my initial kind of reaction to the announcement that if I had my super rare collection I had last year, I'd have probably been way happier, because I also had Ivan Martin, of course, but I had Callum McGregor unique, and the way everything might fall for that situation, like, it would just be like, wow, that would be amazing. But it's probably one of the strategy turns that I made that was quite burning bridge. You know, it was like I've made this kind of statement before about different things, but like chopping off a segment of the gallery, which is something I've did in the past to like cash in, and is normally something is my kind of go-to move in that regard. But selling the Celtic super rares was like a harsh, like, I would call it more of a burning of the bridge, because now all my supers for this year were champ based, and then I kind of tried to detail into La Liga if I possibly could, with some trades and maybe some guys that were like 30 quid or whatever. And some of them are now transferring. We'll see where some of them end up or whatever. They might end up in All-Star anyway. I've also got somebody like Tierney moving to Celtic, which I don't want to part with. But is making a great move and will be a brilliant card next year. I wonder if, can I see just like non-champ who shows up? Yeah, Tierney doesn't even show up there yet. Gabri Vega's moved to Porto. That Tim Orman has been signed by Leverkusen and then loaned to Sturm Graz, who are in the Champions League. So my boy Tim Orman here, who was like a bit of a he had a good game or two. We won him very early in the season. He's not that bad, obviously. Got a bit of an upward trajectory in his career. Cool trophy cool craft to have. But yeah, not that much. But I think there's more guys coming out of Champion than has maybe been updated on Sorare yet. We'll see where some of them end up with relegations and transfers and whatever. But anywho, buyback clause. Jonathan Okonie unique. Wow, that would be fun, by the way. Do you think we get a Scottish only league? Asks Craig Fleming. I don't think Scotland gets its own league. I think Scotland is too small. And in saying that, like, Belgium is pretty much the same size, if not the same size, isn't it? But I don't know. It's a funny one. I think it's an easy assumption that all the full league licenses get one, but they made a conscious decision to chop Turkey off, and you feel that there is some hesitation into going full Danish and Portuguese. So do you do full individual leagues where available, Croatia, Austria, Scotland, and then you do all of the second tiers and like Portugal, Denmark, Norway, whoever's like left in a rest of the world situation? Feels kind of naff on the bits and pieces that get left over behind. I'm assuming Argentina and Mexico, Brazil would all be in that bucket as well. So I'm not too sure. I think if it's as wide ranging as all of them get it, of course Scotland will be included. But I'm imagining there's one more champ and one more non-champ that's going to get it. If we're getting Eredivisie in Belgium, they've got a pretty tight agreement with Sorare. They've been pretty good with them over the years. And I don't know, is Austria maybe the next one in that kind of little thing? I don't know. Maybe it is Scotland. I don't know. It's a tough one. I really am not too sure, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure if I want it, to be quite frank. So I'm not sure if I understand correctly. Buying unique makes sense only if you're going to play in-season super rare. Yes. So by owning a unique, I was actually talking with Charlie. We're maybe going to do this in a video, but I think this is probably the best place to do it, in fact. But if we look at the news segment on the channel and go back to Sorare 26, more ways to play and win. It's a bit of a dig, but I'm pretty sure it's quite close to the bottom where you find the click here for super rare chat. Champion. Now, I've said to them, I better give them another nudge, right? But see this thing, this should 100% be called Manager of the Month, and everyone gets like a Manager of the Month trophy alongside whatever the actual reward is. It just should be done. It should be an absolute home run, easy tap in situation. And here we go. Click here for the super and the unique stuff, right? So the way things are changing is it's going to be 4 in season at super rare, unless you have a classic unique. You can play a classic unique with 3 in season and 1 classic super. Of course, you can do 3 in season and 2 classic. In season use don't actually seem to make a difference. You know, you'd think that would also maybe buy you a classic spot in air quotes. You know, like if you had an in season U, you could play another classic super rare. If you've got a classic U, you can play I suppose, what's the difference between the... anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's getting too muddy. But in any case, if you want to play in-season super rare, just having that one classic unique that can just be the unique, and I'm very familiar with this kind of strategy pattern. It was basically the all-star pattern where you're like, who's the best value unique I can get that is going to not cost the earth, show up often enough, and then in the right circumstances could pop also. You know, that's the kind of perfect little mix you're looking for, especially coming at the budget angle, like the Kulusevski shout that David Taylor mentioned, as well as a few other ones that have been tossed around. So the one classic unique is like a permanent in-season super rare, as things stand at the moment. Just for clarity on that. Connor Aspel, good to see you. Would love some advice. I've got $70 of credits that will expire. What should I spend 140 on? MLS Limited, Contender Limited in season, or maybe we consider rare? I think credit. I think you're always going to get the biggest. Like rare's the option. Like the rare is the option ultimately. So if it's just a straight answer on MLS Limited, Contender Limited in season, or maybe Contender Rare, it's Contender Rare for me all day long. Right. So. But the thing with that right now is, again, based on the announcement on the blog that we had, that the assumption has to be Contender is All-Star right now in terms of Classic or any in-season. You know, if you hang on to some K-League guys, if that's the move, and catch the in-season like best of the rest All-Star thing, whatever they're going to do, then yeah, that's the best way to go. I think especially with that level of cash, or that level of credits married up appropriately with the cash. It needs to be on instant buy or auction. So can we do Contender as a little Contender instant buy? Top end marketplace. Yeah, you mentioned a goalkeeper there, didn't you? or whatever, but Lautaro Blanco's came alive in this Club World Cup, hasn't he? Good for him. Good for him. Mikey Basson pointed me onto him. I'll never forget him. I'm sure it was Mikey. But it was in Argentina taking sets and then went to Spain and just never really lifted the level. But he's kind of nailed in that left back spot. He's pretty tasty in that way. So yeah, I don't mind unadulterated smash plays and in season. If it's a goalkeeper that's going to play all the time, that's cool as well. Harry Trades, my man, good to see you. But yeah, I think rare's the move all day. Like, there's just, especially with credits, it just makes a bigger purchase easier to make, and you'll get the most uplift from a rare, whether that be actual success on the leaderboard, or if you were to even wait for the cooling down period to expire and try and flip into a good situation. I think rares is just the way to go. There is maybe a strategy to be had for, smaller ticket items in volume in that regard as well for the limited. So if there was a pure market play from limited and you had like a little kind of trading strategy in mind for the next month or something, I could get behind that. Ice Cold Palmer, good to see you. Don't worry about the Quincy thing, Connor. I've been called anything that involves the letters Q, U, I and N. I have been called, and there's no problem with any of them. League One sounds like it's, yeah. Maybe, if they do get League in, I think Serie A is, Serie A is the problem one, isn't it? Because it's Inter and Roma and whatever. So yeah, I think there'll be one more champ, one more non-champ. Surely we get the rest of the world in season. Yeah, I think that will be, but they can't tell us who's in it until they finalise who's get their own league. I think that's part of the administration that's going on here. Yeah, I don't think there's any scarcity bonus Torador between a unique and what do you make? Let's just go back to that Martin page. There we go. So let's see. Yeah, they don't have a scarcity bonus. They don't have a scarcity bonus either. I think uniques all start with 1% collection bonus though. And I think, uniques can go to 11% essentially on their own, guaranteed. I'm not sure if there's any other little creases that maybe make the difference, but essentially, a unique is powerless against a super rare. That's the number one nerf on it, is there's no all-star super rare situation anymore where the unique was like a captain. It was kind of like having an automatic captain in terms of the power it had on its score, and then you had a captain to select from your super rares, which was a nice strategy point. We had a lot of fun with that. D2 is a lot of the old heads. Still got your Blanco. It was you, Mikey Basson. I thought I remembered that. I started buying unique cards 2 days before update announcement. Maybe the whole thing is to make unique players buy in season super rares. Yeah, I don't think they care about. Well, I think people were actually talking about that, weren't they? That in season uniques weren't actually that bad price wise. It's just that like you had to beat somebody in an auction, and they've probably got about 20, and you've got one. Luka Jovic, yeah, that's tempting. By the way, that's tempting. Clubsy, good to see you. Right, so the first actual kind of request piece, I want to just fire this up and we can chat about whatever we're chatting about all the same, is Liam Peverley. Now, I'm not too sure how I'm going to find you on Sorare Data, Liam, because Sorare Data I would have probably remembered. I need a club name, and then let's have a wee gallery review shot with yourself and we'll get stuck into it. I'll leave that tab sitting there and we'll just have a wee market tab open here. Let's look at manager sales and uniques. Doesn't really matter what season it is, obviously. And I turn it all the way down to 0.05. Is there anything down that way? I don't even know what that is in pounds. There is some stuff. That's pure cheap, isn't it? Let's maybe move it up to 0.089. Yeah, it's basically 0.9, isn't it? Hector Herrera, that's interesting. I think he's really doing alright in Mexico, but is he? Koizumi. So yeah, it's just like a permanent in-season spot essentially for you, which means if you want to win in craft super rares, you only need to get 3 in, and if you've got a unique that can change the rules for you, as it were. Oh, O-Rod. You guys know I don't mind a wee bit of O-Rod, but it's not really been at it. Leganes did get relegated as well, by the way, so that's probably just a pure waste of brain power, even looking at that. But yeah, I was kind of half tempted, but I really didn't. I'm really not happy with the super rare thing in general. I don't think one division. That's the number one thing. It's like, how many in seasons will I win? Like last season, I won like how many? Like 4 or 5, and like that was across the whole season. JFR back in the building. Love to see it. So yeah, like what's the point really? But yeah, Liam, let me know a name, let me know a club name. We'll try and do a wee gallery review for yourself, and that goes for any other FC Barcelona members that are with us tonight. Any kind of, Connor Aspel's chatting about spending market credits and whatnot there. What's going on with you? What's your headspace at the moment? Questions, thoughts and feelings, feel free to share them, and we'll get through as much as we can while we're on tonight. I'm not really seeing anything too exciting here, but Bojan Majowski is available for like a loss. Like Girona are happy to sell him, I think, for like 3 million quid. They paid like 6 for him. Who knows where he goes ultimately, but it doesn't take much for a unique like that to maybe be. You need to know the competition he's going to end up playing in, but I suppose it's a big price driver, isn't it? If he's actually going to play, is he actually going to do alright as well to boot? I think this guy's went back to Levante as well, by the way, he was at Villarreal for a bit, and I think he's went back to, was that maybe in January or something? So yeah, was it maybe the beginning of this season, in fact? Yeah. That's what it was last season, sorry, I'm just a bit slow on that one. But he's better at Levante than he is at Tezuka. Can't believe he's still kicking about, by the way. That unique, I've seen that 1,000 times. I think, you could be right there, Liam, but... And by the way, where's your club name, Liam? Come on. Pev United. There we go. But I'm pretty sure that's a topic point I've heard from the people that are most concerned about this, that there is no power difference, there is no difference in scale. Right, so let me double check what you said to me, Liam. Any chance of gallery review? Oh, you had it in there. I'm a tit, sorry. Was Prem only gallery until the update, so made some changes to branch out to Champ Euro. Thoughts on it and where I can improve? Love it. Right, so we had an in-season Prem situation last year. Oh, I love it. It's all on one page as well. And now we're trying to branch out into Champ because of the classic situation. So that's I like the starting point we've got here. But we do want to have the ability to go into in-season, of course. And I think the goalkeeper count here will certainly help you. Mamadashvili, it's a nice pick-up, handcuffing the Allison. Nice. That could work out quite nicely, by the way. Again, using him in season won't be much of a handicap. Vasilj, you know what you're getting with him. Emi is probably going to leave Villa. That probably doesn't really... it probably doesn't actually make any difference in this champ-based situation, does it? You would hope it's to SO5 improved situation, a team that's on the continent that's going to win their title, and he does score pretty good anyway, but a dominant force team kind of thing. He could be super OP. Pickford's traded in 5 days ago. So yeah, there's like 4 keepers here. So I can cover you for 3 classics, maybe even 4 classics as you get started, depending on what competitions are available. And then as in-season opens up to you, you can maintain the 3 classics and slide the first goalkeeper into in-season. The goalkeepers are your tickets in, so we can get 3+1 lineups, can't we? So I guess 4, so when that +1 kicks in as well, 4 is like a base number. So I guess that's kind of where we're starting with there. When we look at defence, we've got from last season Botman and Jedi, some nice players to carry over. 4 months ago, 8 Nuri, nice pickup. Mark Guy, I guess you're hoping for a transfer for him because he's been linked to some big clubs. Fabian Schär for £2 is just ridiculous, isn't it? VVD, Mittelstadt, Klaus for a £5, very good. Well played. Klaus is just Klaus. You can play him in Team 2 and Team 3 or 4 every week of the season, and he's perfect for that kind of shift, so that's great to have. Obviously top end potential with a few of them, and again, like Klaus level guys where any one of them find themselves in Team 2, 3 or 4, it's probably not too much of a concern. overall. Like, I don't know if the quality is there. I don't know if they can spike. Don't know if they've got that kind of ability. So good quality breadth there. KDB going to Napoli, I think could be wild, or really could. Xavi Simons, we don't know where he goes yet, but it's going to be a Champions League club. I really hope it's somebody like Liverpool. I could see them pulling a move off for someone like him. Or he really wants to go to Barca, but if Barca have money to give Rashford, and I mean, just go and get Xavi Simons. Just go and get what are they doing, man? What are they doing? Foden could level up with, now that De Bruyne has moved on. It could be like Generation Foden now for Man City, so I like that. Liverpool midfield is solid. MGW is going to be good at Forest or get a big move. Bruno, we know what we're getting with him. So what are we looking at for midfield here? 2, 4, 6, 7. I would say all 7 of them. Let's see where a few of the chips fall in the transfer window. Szoboszlai is probably the one I would say you're going to get the least utility out of. So let's say 6. Across 4 teams, 6 mids, you'll probably just about get away with that most of the time with a single defender. Do we have quality up front, and do we have double striker possibility? I would say yes to both of that, you know. For 4 goalkeepers, these 7 forwards, is Jared Bowen actually moved, or is he like going to move? Is it Newcastle that's after him? Yeah, he's still at West Ham, it appears. Yes, he's not officially moved anywhere yet. But he was quality last year, man. Jabo, whatever. He's a player I've always liked. I actually had a few Football Index Jared Bowens. I think because back when he was at Hull, especially, like he was pretty good in the Championship, and they weren't great. He's kind of living that life now with West Ham, and a kind of different scale, and not quite this obviously parallel situation. Guyton Perrin, Mason Greenwood, Cunha, Isak, Salah, and Buemo. Like, especially with Man United not being in Europe next year, like Cunha and Buemo every weekend. That could be double forward in a team, no bother at all. Salah is in Hall of Fame mode. Isak is coming into peak, like he's only getting better every year. And the rest of the guys I see are really cool. So yeah, I think forwards are totally fine. Like, midfield, like MGW is just a bit unknown. If he goes to someone like Chelsea or some nonsense, it might not be great for him. Like he is maybe a wee bit sensitive to a bad move just for losing. Because for Forest he plays. I know they had a hot part of the season and a quiet part of the season, but he played all the time. When available he plays. It's only suspension that keeps him out here. And I'm not sure he gets that moving up the food chain. So, and with Swartz coming in, I just think Szoboszlai is less relied upon, because he was very relied upon last year. Again, mainly suspension kept him out of the team. A few appearances from the bench, of course, minute and load management. But I think that will change next season with the arrival of Wirtz. Bones from just up the road from me used to play against his dad in my youth. Was a wee nasty bastard. Love that. The boys get techers, man. You know, even at Hull he was like wild, like, very good, like a one-man team. That's how good he was. After moving to Peru, Connor, you've always got a wee bit more of an adventurous appetite than I do for these types of things. If you've got them lined up, the credits do expire, and there's no negotiating with credits. The only thing I would maybe just pivot you against is auctions. It's just maybe keeping a wee... It's hard to look with Sorare data now at what auctions have went by, etc. But is there... because auctions are not that competitive, I don't imagine, nowadays as well. And if you can maybe... If there's no mad rush, the instant buys probably aren't really going anywhere. Can we maybe wait for a cycle on the auctions? Is there anyone there? Just try and make it stretch a bit further, potentially, is all I would think. Or give you some other alternatives, for classic. We'll definitely look at it, Aidan, but like I mentioned before, would you cry it? We're still kind of like working out what we can get done with Sorare. So I think gallery reviewing is pretty straightforward enough. This is a small enough gallery where it certainly became quite easy. We've got a nice wee tab here for summer signings. So let's just see. It's not filtering. Maybe it's just a wee kind of wee glitchy thing on it. But I really like the quality of this gallery. I think if you were to nitpick, is maybe the defence the least star-studded, which isn't really up. Nah, so I don't really think so. I think this is very well-rounded, really, to be honest with you. Yes, there could be another star or two included, but like, yeah, I think depending on Javi Simons' move, you're fine. I think, yeah, these two, see, because Javi Simons and MGW are at the moment kind of in the ether, don't really know what's happening with them. If you were like saying to me, buy one card, I'd buy a mid. But that's just to kind of make sure you're not too tied to the fate and the outcome of any kind of transfers later on. It's like if they have a great move, brilliant, it's a real level up situation for you. Parallel, fantastic. And obviously if it's a backwards move, it's not the end of the world. Because even backwards moves as well, in air quotes, like, give them long enough and good players get good at football in different places, you know. Problem with Bowen is his age and price. Yeah, yeah. That's why it would have to be like a Newcastle or a Villa. It would need to be one of those teams that's going to maybe get a little bit of that. Like, we're just going to run them into the ground. We're not worried about sell-on fees and whatever. We are just going to, we'll give you the 4-year contract and we're going to play you all the way. You know. So yeah, gallery reviews we do on the channel for the FC Barcelona season ticket holders. If you want to become a season ticket holder, if you want to become a channel member, it's £1 a week, £4 a month. There's a pinned comment in the live chat. It's also in the description. You just click on that. YouTube explains it all to you. We generally do this once a week. We've kind of not had it on for the last few weeks because of the announcement and lots of other bits and bobs that's been going on. But we're certainly back with a bang on the gallery review stuff. We have a deadline tomorrow as well. So happy to kind of entertain everything and anything tonight, as we just kind of get back up to speed and start spinning some plates, you know. But if you're after gallery review stuff, I need you to have a season ticket. It goes to supporting the channel, of course, and helps keep the lights on here, as they say. But thanks to everyone that's tuning in tonight. Let's see, who else did we have after Liam? XD let's have a wee peek. XD yeah, this is it. There we go, that was easy. 45 limiteds we're up to now. And it is SO7 also, actually. Oh, Doi, by the way, it is SO7. Yeah, so you've not got enough players there. You'll have, like, probably... Let's go back to Liam for a second. So for every goalkeeper, we need 6 outfielders minimum. We had 4 goalkeepers there, didn't we? Excluding handcuffs. So 4 6s are 24. We have 14, 22. Yeah, so we can't even field SO7 across 4 teams. Interesting. Don't know the formation yet either, so there's not an obvious place to lean into on that. The season ticket does cost money, Pitboom. It costs £1 a week, £4 a month. It's all done through YouTube, Google, Apple Play, all that good stuff, buddy. But yeah, so the 4 teams, you're kind of missing that. I was thinking SO5 still, so that's going to be a bit of an adjustment, isn't it? But yeah, you're 2 players short of having 4 lineups. Now it is a 3+1 situation, so in the immediate term, that's not really a problem for playing your 3 classic champ lineups. So you can actually go off and running with that anyway. But yeah, so I really like how well rounded the gallery is as well. And the next thing I would buy is a midfielder. I guess that's kind of just in our contemplation. There was just was this in our tab? Okay, so the next one we had was XD Live. I think we went backwards to go forwards there. Sorry. So let's just do that again real quickly. So yes, SO7, and this is for champ classic as well, but limited. So in goals, we've got Neuer, we've got Nubel, we've got Rono, we've got Flecken at Leverkusen. Wow, 4 Bundesliga. So 3+1 is what we're thinking there for Bundesliga in season, when you kind of get that way if you can. But for the classic, obviously, it's still going to be the champ. But the fixture correlation will probably still be quite important, especially when your goalkeepers are lined up like that. And yeah, so for 4 goalkeepers there again, wasn't it? Yeah, 4. We've got more than enough on the head count there. We've got 39 outfielders. How many of them are actually viable? But Mittelstadt, Schlorbeck got injured, didn't he? Kim Min Jae might be on the move. Dyer's moved to Monaco, so Dyer is going to be playing with Paul Pogba at Monaco. What crazy world we live in. Yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine, guys, isn't it? In some ways, numbers, I think we're okay, but good quality again in midfield. I think midfield is got a good amount of numbers there as well. Obviously high quality up front. Sané going to Galatasaray maybe changes a little bit of that for you. Jerry Moreno, as you know, is always just threatening to be good, then gets injured. So yeah, back on that roller coaster again. Yeah, I think strikers is the main, because like Kane will be great. I think Lukaku will be great. Do you play them in one team but in SO7? So let's imagine this double forward somehow, double mid, double defence. Is that a safe assumption? We're maybe thinking Musiala in midfield with McSauce or Bruno. Golovin also at Monaco, injury prone and whatnot. Amiri. Yes, you've probably got like enough mids to get across like 3 SO7 teams. I think strikers you don't. You definitely don't. And then if we're imagining this into defence as well, maybe double defence into boot, we've got Ta. I think Ta's a good shout. Mittelstadt, Botman when fit. Dyer will probably score very well. Stanisic, Chabot. Maybe just about 2 and a bit going on 3 lineups in defence, just about. If you're taking a risk with 1 or 2 of them. Kim Min Jae, Guerrero, for example. But yeah, I think striker's the main thing, because depends on what the formation is and what the tactical flexibility we've got. Like, do they say it is 2-2-2 is the formation? Do they say it's it might even be 1-1-1 minimum, but you can do the rest? You know, it could be. Like, who really knows what the tactics will be for that? So it's really hard to definitively say, but clearly you're across SO7, your strikers won't go that far. Is the main thing I would say. XD Rai from what we know. Quick question that probably doesn't need the gallery review. Mikey, sorry, I wish I'd seen this earlier. Do you think you need another MLS Classic smasher, or is Messi and Heel enough? I'm only running 2 in season. No, I think Messi and Heel are enough, to be honest with you. If we're talking just about 1 classic card in the in-season situation, I think, yeah, like 2 is enough, like, ultimately, because like, as long as the third team you've got is somebody that's like the level just below that, like, that's fine, you know, like Hani Mukhtar or whatever, you know. But yeah, what would we even look at on Sorare to explore that sort of thing? Maybe MLS scoring? When was the last game week we had MLS? So we want to be able to see leaderboards dead easily. We want to be able to see team composition, scores required to win stuff. So here's Pug with his signed Brad Stuver. So yeah, Jordi Mihailovic, Pasalic. Now, fair enough, Club World Cup's on at the moment. So maybe do we want to jump further back in time? My team did alright for once. Egg Swap Bot, what did he have? Oof. That's a good team, isn't it? Yeah, let's maybe jump a wee bit further back in time. Midweek Champions League there. No problem, Liam. Thanks very much, my man. So I'll use this page to scroll back. That's what I'll do. Right, let's see. Do we have MLS in here? We do. Awesome. Do we have a D1? Ah, we don't. Bugger. Right, this will be D2 then. You find the D1. You see what the high scores look like anyway. Yeah. Classic Galacia in this one. Now, fair enough, he's got Dreyer. Freeman's been a ripper. But Obed on a 92. What did this guy have? Chimbo. Like, the big scores, like, you just need to get the big scores. Do these guys... Oh, look at the goalkeeper, double decisive there. Negative and positive, cancelling each other out. It's an emotional roller coaster right there. Tugford. Is that Tuggy? The legendary Tuggy. Wow. Dreyer Lozano, captain. Hot shout, hot take. Let's maybe jump forward a wee bit, try and look at D1. Oh, nice. Graham, nice exclusive there in the chat. Got me unique hunting, yeah. I had a wee nosy around. I think there's some stuff there, but I then kind of have to throw cold water in my face and think, like, why? To not play in season super rare quicker, you know? Trying to get 3x SO7. Yeah, well, I think you're right there, Liam. I think you're right there. Excellent. So who was kind of up next after you guys came on? I think the Scottish League could be a lot of fun if it went itself. Like, I would potentially set up a channel for that. If you know what I mean. Like, I would maybe just have a wee bit of, just slide all that stuff there, maybe. So it means I started buying... Yeah, Club Z, you're next, buddy. Club Z, let's have a look. Toxic Lightning. There we go. Only got my Ipswich collection and a few of what were Challenger players. Not sure what to do. Probably going to buy any new Ipswich signings if possible. So I think the problem with this strategy is now became like Challenger is almost certainly no more. I think it's hard for us to imagine there's a kind of, you know, we had Challenger and Contender last year, right? Let's just call one of them Prime and Subprime, right? In terms of non-premium, if that's some sort of hierarchy we can all imagine for a moment. I don't think the new in-season format will have that dynamic. Contender did pay out more because it had like a higher head count of stuff involved in it and whatever, but especially like some of the cards that are in were in Challenger, high value wonder kids, Champions League level players and all the rest of it. There was that kind of better situation, which meant getting relegated from the Premier League into that was a bit of a silver lining. I don't really think that's going to be there. The problem you're going to have is in Classic, if it's going to be essentially all region is what we're playing in here, Ipswich need to get promoted. That's what you need to believe for this to work. Or at least be playoff level, you know, at the very least. Because if they're not, they're probably like beyond the odds, like, you know, they finished 12th in the league but they beat two teams 5-0, like beyond that kind of situation unfolding, the Ipswich play is taking a real hit. So I think the main way to kind of combat that or balance against it, mitigate against it, whatever, is to slide in studs alongside it, you know. So you mentioned you've got some other guys in from around Challenger, Contender, or whatever the heck we used to call it. I see you're in DK here. Obviously MJ's in that division anyway, so you'll get some fixture correlation with him, as you will with Karamoko, who, by the way, I was very close to buying a Karamoko the other day. I thought, why not? Why did I not have a Karamoko after I got that Kamavinga? So Karamoko's a card I should definitely have a rare of, and I still feel that way. Ooh, Pavel got one a day ago. What do you think he's worth? 11 quid, 10 quid. What's that in ETH? 004. Let's see that wee available list again. Oh, we sent an offer, didn't we? I wonder what happened to that. Is that still kind of pending, actually? Because did we send that offer, or did I start? Oh, we did. Yeah. I suppose it was just all of them, really, wasn't it? Okay. So I think that's the sort of thing. Yeah, is you need to get up. Is Karamoko a stud? I don't even think he's going to be at QPR next year. I think it was only on loan. He'll be back in France this year. Yeah, I might need to compare these two offers and make sure I'm not adding someone in. But I think I did click everything here, didn't I? Maybe not Martin Boyle. Did I click Martin Boyle? Let's go in. Yeah, I didn't put Martin Boyle. So would I swap Martin Boyle for Karamoko? Luca Romero. Yeah, put him in there. Brownhill. Yeah, it was Devlin and Boyle I kept, wasn't it? I'd swap Boyle for Karamoko. Or would I? Oh yeah, 4 prices a bit higher. Pavel won't accept that. Let's see what happens with that unique offer. Nobody sniped me on this. 1-0 England with Harvey Elliott. Do you think he'll go to Brighton? Think that'll happen? So yeah, Clubsy, I think that's the main move to make here, is if there's a player in the Championship, and there's been some of them, by the way, some players in the Championship can rip big scores. The problem can be is the consistency across such a long campaign. So I think like spicing this up with, I heard Laird say that Gerson is going to go to Zenit, or is rumoured. And if like somebody like this could be what you would imagine him to be. 34 quid. If that he does go to Zenit, that's not a bad shout at all, by the way. But that kind of, and that's, you know, we're imagining crazy best case scenario when I use this guy as an example. Obviously the actual guy that's been the best example of it, of course, is Barco. Like you have a reason to have Barco, to just have him around like a good team. It's kind of the game in some regard, you know. Not that the game's all about Barco, but the game's all about Barco. 78 quid, I might get one. I don't like this card, but I like the first 3D one. It's just a nicer kind of thing, isn't it? Is this one of mine? But if the big head was one of mine, I used to own a few big heads, Barcos. But no, this wasn't one. Then I would reconsider that. Assist Elliot Anderson. Yeah, England's team's just too good at this youth level, isn't it? I was mentioning that in one of the videos or one of the streams, but like France are like way off vintage, and England are still very Premier League, you know, like, so they're probably going to hose it. Beating Spain's no easy feat, you know. But yeah, Clubsy, I think that's the main thing I'd be adding into that strategy, because I don't think a 5-man Ipswich stack with collection bonus and all the rest of it is likely enough, often enough. And even if it is, this won't hurt you, you know. And it's about identifying, like, genuinely, like, what is going to be the hardest thing. Are Ipswich going to be free scoring? They might do very well, but are they going to score 3, 4, 5 goals regularly enough across the season? Will there be enough decisives to go around? Yes or no? What does that affect the most? Is it maybe striker? Is it maybe midfield, defence? I don't know, for different reasons. Clean sheets, are they going to be hard to come by? Do we maybe want a different defence play or something? So I think that's the number one thing to do in this instance, is keep that kind of spine that you've got of, you probably know, Ipswich will probably, even if they don't go straight back up, as long as they're not mugs, and, you know, I don't think Ipswich would be, to be honest with you, but getting relegated from the Premier League is dangerous business, you know, always hard to forecast. So yeah, I think that's the number one thing I'd like to slide in alongside these, is like Wanizek, Barco, you know, type of characters. I've been a bit biased on the Wanizeks. I won him this year, but like one decide, like, he just collects that 88. It's always, you know, 45, 48 to, let's just even say 51. He's always picking that kind of level of 88 up, and just one decisive pop, you know, it just goes. That's a great guy to have in your squad. Again, team 2, team 3, no sweat. No sweat. Is he always team 1? Okay, he could be. He could be. So that's the way I would go. Obviously, add any Ipswich signings you want to add in, of course, but I would, yeah, just try and, like, fantasy team it now. Like, if you had the Ipswich team, who would you add into it if you could add anyone in this situation, you know, within reason, to make the team better, to help them score more goals for your team, you know? It's probably the best way of going about it, I would say now. And then we've got AS, Aidan Smith. Don't know if I'll be strong enough for Classic. AS, 1987, Aidan Smith. Good to see you, mate. A fist bump. It's been a wee while. But yeah, and again, it's hard to say because we don't know the full parameters right now, but I'm enjoying just kind of getting my hands dirty again and just having a glance over everything as we see it now. You've just said 4 classics, so we've got 49 limited. So let's have a wee scan through them, sorry. Do we consider Areola a playing keeper? I guess we do, don't we? Okay. De Keizer, Rome Jaden, Pickford, another Rome Jaden. So we've got double Rome Jaden, we've got Pickford, we've got De Keizer, Anthony Morris, Robin Rofes. Plenty of keepers at limited. Then they're all, if they're playing, good enough keepers to be in amongst it, isn't it? You just need to pick your fixture as well. In defence, there's quite a lot of cross region here. Wrench is champ. Sugawara, I can't remember where he is right now. But David Moore Wolf, I don't think he's champ. Yeah, he's still Eredivisie. Witter goes and Satalo. Interesting. Oh. I like the strikers. I think you've got a good quality. And yeah, it's SO7. SO7 is what we're planning for as well. So Toxic Lightning, of course, when we're chatting about your stuff just now, like, you definitely need to have extra. You're not going to get a 7-man Ipswich team to hit. Or maybe, is that actually maybe more of a play? Because predicting, McBride keeps saying it, predicting 7 is going to be fucking hard. You know what I mean? On a lot of occasions. So, interesting actually. I think from where I'm sitting now, the safest advice that would not reduce probability of success is, yeah, add in Barco levels in and around it. Yeah, chat kind of chat's just been on and off, like busy levels. Let me see. Yeah, so when it comes to limited, I think at SO7, yeah, the defensive midfield I wasn't that hyped about. And with the way that, I think for SO7, your defensive midfield doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence at limited. I think the strikers are good enough, and I think your goalkeepers are like in amongst, like the good value picks for sure. Some of them ranked particularly high for the leagues that they're in. Don't get me wrong, if we were to further dissect this into Eredivisie and stuff like that, there might be a wee bit of viability for a league specific element there. Yeah, Mignan and stuff like that are fine, aren't they? Kenny Taylor. Yeah, it's probably actually a decent little Eredivisie minus a striker. Yeah, Van Bommel maybe, but yeah, I don't think it's too far away, but I do think you will struggle with what's just here right now in SO7 Classic Limited. If we look at rare, we've got 38 of them. 11 goalkeepers, which is Fry, Van der Voort, Penders, Lopez, Mignolet, double Lopez. I don't know what's happening with him. Nons get relegated, didn't they? So, not too sure what his script is. Unerstal, Van Krombruge. This goalkeeper, like, you've got a lot of like number 1 level guys, but yeah, who knows what's happening with Lopez. I think Penders will still be at Genk next year, won't he? I don't know what's happening with Van Krombruge or Unerstal. So yeah, I'm not too sure what to think about your keepers, to be honest, at rare. I'm sure you'll have enough there for free lineups or whatever. Defence, I like all the guys. I like the Kuiper, I like Klaus. Barco, don't know what his deal is, if he's going to be back at Strasbourg next year, but that's totally cool. Don't know about maybe Silva moves, don't know about Timber. Hato could move, maybe not for the better. Hard to imagine he plays week in, week out if he goes to Liverpool or Arsenal. Diamande, I think, is in the sights of someone in the Premier League as well, isn't he? So defence is good, but thin. When we look at the mid, very good, I think. Like, in terms of the level of guy across the board. probably play double mid quite comfortably across 3 teams here. Maybe we want to play triple mid, but that's where I think there might be a bit unlimited resources getting felt there. And then up front, don't know what's happening with Anthony, but let's hope we can get back to Betis for everyone's sake. And then, yeah, Big Louis. And then everyone else is kind of alright, aren't they? So, yeah, you're probably not wanting to play double striker. You might want to play like triple mid or something like that. Rare, I think in Classic, you could do well. And like the mids you've got, Fabio Vieira, again, don't know what he's up to, but definitely got the bones for it. Cockchu, De Bruyne, Tchouameni, Szymanski. I think there's big potential in the midfield. You get good quality defence, you get peak defence as well, like guys that can just, maybe De Kuyper makes a transfer, let's hope not, but if he does not, then yeah, so I think it's just a bit thin for multi-entry right now, particularly up front. But if Anthony goes somewhere, result. Ruben van Bommel is playing youth internationals now, so yeah, maybe he's coming into being a guy. Yeah, maybe Ruben van Bommel. Maybe I'm kind of undersold him a little bit. Pavlidis, I don't think it was. Oh no, he was ripping for. He did start ripping for Benfica. I don't know why I thought he wasn't. Fair play to him. Pavlidis has been a right monster. Fair enough. Who was that? I maybe was thinking about somebody else. But Pavlidis is a boss. Aye. Yeah, okay. It's just if there's double striker anywhere, that's just, I don't know. And then, yeah, we don't really know about Anthony. Or maybe even in the series for that matter. He might not be at Fenerbahce next year. Which could be a bad thing or a good thing, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's the only thing I think for the rares is like it's just thin, but the quality is very good. And there's a few unknowns right now, so you maybe just need to be on tenterhooks for them to either cover for them. Ohio. Classic is 7. Yep. Clubsy. Classic is SO7 now. So that's one of the major adjustments I think we've maybe kind of wrestled with on this one today. I think that's an alright offer. I've not worked out what it is or anything. But let's hope Villar Gordo here just says, fuck it, geez all them. Take your Ivan Martin reward card back. Imagine we got him back. Wonder where my McGregor is. What do you think's the nicest one? It's cool that this one moves, isn't it? They're all actually really good, aren't they? McGregor's not got a bad looking unique. Clement Bischoff. Is that the Brøndby guy? It's too rich for our blood. Do you know, I'm going to chat about this Celtic fan next time I'm live on Celts, probably on Friday. But there's definitely some sort of... this is rookie year as well. 18 years old. We're too busy playing Tiddlywinks with Kvitsgarden. But yeah, he looks the part. I've not really looked into him too much. There has been a bit of a... Denmark has been quite flavour of the month. There's been a lot of guys popping. Has been hard to keep on top of, but this guy looks the part, certainly for his age. Would you cry it? But yeah, looks like a good player. Breaking into his national team as well. Denmark at a very young age. Some errors, but here, look at this. He gave away 2 penalties and had a red card. So, still cutting his teeth. But yeah. I think it's really just the circles the club moves in, but I think like there's definitely something at play where if we sign somebody under 5 million, then maybe they don't need to talk to Dermot Desmond or anything like that for the money, and they can just get on with it. Because it feels like anyone that is over, because I was thinking about this, like Naroki was quite quick, and Naroki was like 4.5 mil, and really the rest of these guys, like if you do think about it, we give Celtic a hard time for dragging their heels and taking their time, right? But if you do think about it, Palma, Lagerbielke, Kwon, Yang, maybe even Nygren, I'm sick of Nygren, have all kind of happened quite quickly. Like I remember Kuhn happening like out of nowhere, like, so it feels like if the price is right, Celtic can be really, really quick, and if it's at a certain level that, like, yeah, it maybe it needs to go through an extra layer of protocol or an extra layer of scrutiny before the bids will be submitted and whatever. And if this guy's at 5 mil, that would put him right into that scope of what I'm talking about. And I'll go further on this, Celtic fan, I'll chat about this more on Friday, right? But I think that's the strategy coming into this Champions League qualifier is buy any guys you want as long as they're under 5 million and you've got a maximum spend of 15. I think that'll be like the chat or something. So getting the Gren for about 2 is like a pure win. So brilliant, can we go get somebody else? But or maybe the max spend was 10 or 8 or something. I'm just making this up, obviously it's headcanon for me, but it feels like anything over like 5 mil is another level for the club in terms of scrutiny. And because like, who looked at Naroki? Who looked at Palma? So many of these deals, it's like, what? How did this get by people? And maybe there's been a bit of a change on that regard. But anyway, I think when it gets to 5 mil and above, there is just a whole extra layer of protocol scrutiny or whatever at Celtic that slows the deal down or makes it less likely for us to go all out for it. We were at a Bromby game this year, and Noah Nartley was really good as well. Love a bit of eye testing, Celtic fan. Oh yeah, he looks the part. He looks the part as well, doesn't he? Oh yeah, he looks the part. Nice rookies as well. 19 years old in the Denmark team, no less. Yeah, the Baraji guy, let's have a wee peek at him. See the other guy at that team, what was his name? It was like something Sanchez. He really blossomed this year. And he's probably out of our price range now. Wow, this guy looks the part. Switzerland is quite soft, to be honest with you. But these numbers are quite hard to argue with. Winterthur are the rubbish team, so ignore that. Servette are second, so that's a really good shift. Where did he get all his points here? Defending, tackles, interceptions. Wow, Joe won. Yeah, really good defensive mid looking guy. Who's this against? Luzerne. That's okay. Yeah, guy does well. Especially if he scores a goal. He has a great game if he scores a goal. If he doesn't score a goal or something, he has a bit of a meh game, it would appear. But the other guy at this team, what's his name? Sanchez or something? Is he not in the squad anymore? Has he maybe moved already? Was it Borges Sanchez or something maybe? Oh, Goncalo Estevez plays for them. That's funny. Paul Bernardoni. Was it? No, it wasn't Borges Sanchez. That's somebody else. I can't remember the wee kid's name now. But he was doing amazing there. He's obviously moved, it would seem. Alvin Sanchez, that's it. Well done, mate. Oh, Lausanne Sport, different team. See, when we looked at him initially, like, I remember looking at this and it was like, yeah, maybe this November 2023. When would we have been linked to him? Summer of 24 maybe. He didn't have that much going for him, but after we were linked to him, yeah, that must have been it. It must have been like this time here. What's on screen here must have been like his history, and I was like, there's a little bit of something here, but he hardly plays. And then you keep a wee eye on this guy, and I was like, whoa, this guy is popping. It has, but these numbers have gained a lot more attention now. So I don't think he's going to come to us. He's probably going to go to somebody in Italy or whatever. But yeah, when I seen this other guy we just looked at, Musa Barji, I remembered about that Alvin Sanchez guy. And he looks, they look alright, but Switzerland is soft. We might be on track to a winner of the arena, by the way. Griezmann coming in clutch for us here, despite Atletico Madrid getting eliminated. They won 1-0 against Botafogo. Big scores for Oblak and Gallon. Llorente didn't do that great. I've got Pascal Gross playing tonight. Captain. Must-win game for them. Ulsan already eliminated. And it says I'm projected second, but it said I was projected first when I was first as well. So I'm not really believing the Sorare projections until I see some evidence to them. But I'm hoping we can win this. It'll pay for the Griezmann with a wee bit of profit. And then we can call it an adventure and move on. Caicedo DNP, that was a bummer. And we've still got all the MLS stuff actually to run tonight before the deadline tomorrow, including Cherki and Cancelo and the final bits of action for the Club World Cup with Sean Johnson here. So I've got some unpredetermined SO5 scores here. One in All-Star, in-season MLS and one in Classic MLS. So still kind of got half a game week to play tonight. Thanks very much, Celtic fan. I'll see you Friday. The videos have been out on the channel today and tomorrow as well for Celtic here. If you're after some Celtic content, it's sitting there waiting for you right now, buddy. We went through... guys. I had Sorare Japan on. It was so much fun, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I've been out today on Celtic here. It's so funny, man. I didn't know he was on TalkSport as well a few times. That was something that he was on TalkSport this week before Kota Takai or whatever, and something else. He's got some sort of commentating gig or whatever, which was good crack. But it was great to, honestly, if you've not seen the content on this channel with me and Sorare Japan, you need to check it out. It's very educational and very funny. Guy does not disappoint. He's an absolute gem. Norgard to Arsenal. And they've got Zubimendi and Marino. Like, Arsenal are not winning the league with this type of midfield. Like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get this. This midfield doesn't win you the league. I don't think anyway. Maybe I'm missing something. Norgard to Arsenal. It's got the here we go. This is what I've kind of lined up for the game week that starts tomorrow. Need to see the MLS action tonight, obviously, maybe readjust a little tiny bit, but New York City didn't play, so they're all kind of as you were coming into this one. So back to the 7 lineups of purpose for that, which kind of was just painted by numbers again, really. It's just putting the right, these guys with these guys and whatever. And yeah, I'm tempted to maybe swap Fernandez for Bakrar, actually. These wonky deadlines have been weird, haven't they? How have you got on with them? Do I play Johnny Russell in a better team? Is another question I keep wrestling with. Yeah, there we go. Maybe feels a bit more balanced. Wee cheeky contender team here, which is quite fun. Wee cheeky U23 team here, which is just like a Hail Mary. And then a few All-Star teams, which... incomplete. Oh, maybe put guys into trades or something, maybe. What happened here? Oh yeah, I put Teles. Teles was in here. He went into a trade, and the other one was Gregor, wasn't it? Right, so that's fine. We'll just leave them sitting like that now. And we'll deal with it if we need to. Yeah. Oi. Yeah, so it feels like this is going to be the lay of the land. The way the arena is going to be laid out, the way the site is going to be constructed, where the focus, where the agenda is going to be. No more arena action for me in the Club Global Cup because Atletico Madrid, sadly, my dark horses to win the thing, egg on my face, have been eliminated, so there you go. But subsequently I've got no SO5 goalkeeper or anything like that to play in it now, so we're kind of resorting to dealing with the whatever teams. But yeah, Clement Bischoff would have been a good one for us, I agree. But I don't think it's... I think we need the Champions League qualifier to be done before we go into the 5+ million bracket. But I think if Brendan Rodgers wanted to sign like 40 guys that were $500,000, they'd probably say, I go for it. You know. Hi caramba. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the size of it for me, lads. Ladies and gents. I'll give the chat another wee minute or two, see if there's anything else that wants to get fired at us, but happy to go through some strategy there. We kind of know more, but we don't know enough, do we? I forget what tab we started on, but... Oh, Aiden. Sorry, what were we looking at for 8? Oh no, I think we've went through this, haven't we? The Kuiper and stuff, yeah. SO7, just a bit thin. Maybe I went off on a tangent, sorry, but... Yeah, it's like 1 to 2 good teams, isn't it? Is what we're probably looking at here. See what Aiden specifically said again, sorry. So I can be comfortable that I've answered it. We'll be strong enough for Classic. Yeah, I think you've got 1 to 2 teams here. Transfer sensitive. 1 to 2 teams here that will be competitive in Classic. Just about. But it'll need to be like all region. So where your bits are. But that's not a problem because like your like wide range of players will suit that. And if you're prioritising it, tends to work out well, you know, generally in the old times anyway, and as long as records have been sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's just a little bit thin for SO7 for like competitive teams. You're looking at 1 or 2 here, and if I was to say what position to kind of go to first, yeah, getting the strikers across 3 teams is shaky. The midfield, yeah, against 3 teams is quite thin as well. And, like, if you had the Kuiper and Klaus in Team 1, yeah, everyone else you're kind of like Seamus Coleman, you can't be relying on that, can you? So it's like Branthwaite, Barco, what's his situation? Timber, is he playing? Antonio Silva, is he still at Benfica or not? So yeah, I think all 3 positions quite an equal measure. It just needs support, just needs some more bodies in. If you get some of the question marks ironed out, that takes a bit of pressure off, I think, some of the positions. But with the goalkeepers kind of been all over the shop, and that should give you a wee bit of freedom as well to maybe find some of the non-premium, or some of the non, you know, the guys that are really good bang for buck, you know, the points per pound. They're smashers, but because they're not a champ guy, they're maybe a wee bit under the radar. Again, I think that's just like an easy kind of add-on in this time. Oh, no way, was he? Alistair Johnson was that? Subbed off in the 57th minute, nightmare. I think I dropped him in the end because he wasn't certain to start. Yeah, I did. 57, Jesus. That's rubbish. Nice wee team from Canada. Awesome. Hi guys, I've had an absolute pleasure. Stay tuned. Over the next couple of weeks we'll have the season tickets ironed out for 25-26 season. And yeah, we'll be doing a lot more of this, as well as everything else that we can squeeze in for bang for buck for you guys that pick up the season tickets. So thanks to everyone that's tuned in tonight. It's been good fun. And yeah, there'll be some content coming out over the next couple of days. I keep forgetting that tomorrow is Friday? Thursday? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, so it's been one of those weeks, the days have been running away. So stay tuned. There'll be tons of stuff happening this week at some point. Just make sure you turn that notification bell on and you won't miss one. Thanks again. Have a good night, everyone. Good luck this game week coming up, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.